Hi, sorry we had a little technical issue. I had to get out of the way there. But this is Tom and Shelly. I'm Shelly. That's Tom.
We're with the Power Network and the 1010 Formula team. Recently, we've been doing some reading as a result of the books that our mentors and some of the leaders in the Power Network have been recommending to us. And we have found a very cool, we think, little tool. And Shelly's going to tell us all about the Magical Creation Box.
Yes, the Magical Creation Box. It is really a very cool idea. We've gotten this idea from the book Ask and It Is Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks. And the Magical Creation Box is just that. It is a box, and you write on the lid a very key piece of information. Whatever is contained in this box is. Okay, so big capital letters for that is. And what you do is you cut out things that you desire. So cars, boats, trips, jewelry, furniture, anything that you desire. So anything that let's just go flipping through some magazines and anything that catches your eye and makes you feel invigorated. You want to cut that out and put it in your box. And when you put it in your box, you say whatever is contained in this box is. And so it's kind of like a vision board, only it's not as structured. You know, we did cover vision boards on a previous blog post, and a vision board is very scientific as to how it is put together and how the things that you want need to be laid out on that board in a certain pattern. With the box, it's a whole lot different because you just throw stuff in there, so we don't have to worry about all that getting things right, so to speak, about, you know, the layout. Although I'm not dissing the vision board is still very, very important.
And if you haven't seen our blog on the vision board, I'd recommend that you go back and take a look at that. It does have some very cool information, and we learned that from our mentors as well.
Yes.
Very, very cool. So back to this Magical Creation Box. So as I'm going through a magazine or just going through life in general, I can just grab things and put them in this box. And so how does it work? I mean, obviously, when I do that, I'm physically putting things into a box, but I get the impression that's not all there is to it.
Well, Tom, you asked like 10 questions in that one question, so
Thank you very much.
Let's break it down.
Just pick one.
So first of all, it doesn't have to always be physical. You can have a mental magical creation box. So let's say you're driving down the road and trying to get to an appointment. You could drop things into your box just about that trip. So like you're driving down the road and it's going to be a crystal blue sky and sunny sky, and all the traffic lights are going to be green, and I'm going to arrive to my destination on time. You could drop all of those things into your box, you know, mentally. Now notice a key consistency in those statements there. They were all stated in the positive tense, if that is such a thing. In other words, I didn't say it's not going to rain, I'm not going to hit the red lights, and I'm not going to be late. I said all those things in a positive tense. So it's very important when you're asking the universe for something to state it in a positive tense, because the universe doesn't recognize not. Okay, so you can have, that's getting kind of sidetracked and we can cover that a lot more later, but you can have a mental box, but it's a whole lot more fun to have a physical box and physically cut things out and put it into the box. So that covers, you know, the box and the variety of the boxes. And now as far as how it works, well, Jerry and Esther Hicks, they believe that we're all vibrational beings and that we emit vibrations to the universe, and the universe answers those vibrations. So if we're emitting vibrations about things that we are unhappy about, it's actually causing us to be out of tune with what they call the source energy, and the source energy is what delivers us what we want. So the magical creation box is like a tuning of the radio. It helps you tune the radio.
Okay.
So if your frequency is out of tune, in other words, if you're really unhappy about things that you don't have in your life, you're actually putting a lot of resistance to receiving those things. And so because you're just, that is putting you out of vibrational harmony with yourself and the source energy. So the Magical Creation Box helps you tune that radio, because as you put things in the box, you start thinking about how happy you're going to be when you get them. And you're going to start focusing on happy things, and you're going to start focusing on positive things. And so the more you put in the box, the more you're focused on that. And the more you put in the box, the more you're focused on that. So it's the tuning, so that more focusing and the more focusing is tuning that radio in, and it is aligning your vibrational energy with your source energy. And when you get in alignment and you remove the resistance, that's when things start manifesting in your life. That's when you see things happen in your life that you want to happen in your life.
Because you attract them.
Right. So now you're attracting what you want as opposed to what you don't want. And my statement earlier about the universe doesn't know not. So if you say, I don't want to be poor, you're not telling the universe that you want to be rich. You're telling the universe that you want to be poor because it doesn't understand that not part. So that's how the Magical Creation Box helps you focus on what you want. And you can't help but feel good because you're cutting out things that you want. So anything that makes you feel invigorated, put it in your box.
Okay. And Jerry and Esther Hicks are the authors of Ask and It Is Given.
Correct.
I don't think we mentioned that up front, but we need to do that here now anyway. So can I put something in the box more than once, or does it matter?
I did not see any rules about how many times you could put the same thing in the box.
Okay.
Basically, they said if it makes you feel invigorated, put it in the box. And oh, by the way, if you see something that you can't find a picture of, or there's just a very specific something, you can write it down. You can write down a very specific, detailed description of something that you want and put that in your box. It works too, because words on paper are very powerful. That's why a lot of motivational speakers will tell you to write your goals down.
So I don't have to necessarily have a picture of what I want. I can just write it out and put that in my Magical Creation Box.
Correct.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, we have our Magical Creation Boxes started, and would encourage you to check one out, or to start one as well. And also would encourage you to read Ask and It Is Given if you've not done so, by Esther and Jerry Hicks.
Yes.
Anything else that you want to add about the Magical Creation Box?
Nope. That's some very good advice. Just get started. Get started with your Magical Creation Box. Get started with manifesting what you want in your life. Get started with tuning your radio into what you want. And that
very cool.
Sums it up.
Very cool. Well, thank you for explaining the Magical Creation Box.
Well, you're welcome, Tom.
Tom and Shelley here for Empower Network and the 1010 Formula team.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a great day.
See ya.